Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and in today's segment I wanted to share with you some lessons that we can learn from Hurricane Sandy and some of the observations from a first-hand responder that I have been interacting with. For the sake of this gentleman's privacy, I will not release his name and relevant identification information, but I do want to share with you guys information that he wanted me to get out to you. He contacted me with really the information as a burden to him, and he said, I really want people to know what happened. I want people to know what I saw so that people will be prepared, and obviously for privacy concerns and reasons we can't particularly go into for him, that was not something he could do. So I wanted to share with you the observations that this gentleman conferred to me and try and put some feet on this as how we can practically apply the lessons learned here. The first of his observations was that there was no food and no potable water for a large portion of the populace, especially in the harder hit areas and in the projects. The second was that there was a great shortage of routine medications, the medications that people normally are on every day, the medicines that they take for their blood pressure, for a heart arrhythmia, etc. There was a run on those medications. The third was lines and riots for food. The fourth was that the ER was overwhelmed. So let's go ahead and let's unpack just these four right here. The first was that there was no food and no potable water in certain areas. For many reasons, this having a stockpile of food and water is much more challenging for people in urban environments and even suburban environments, mainly because storage space is at a premium. And God knows in New York, when you're paying $700 for just one room with your rent each month, that can be a particular challenge. But for us as preppers, to unpack this, I think we can obviously take away the beans portion of the beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. We need to make sure that we do have food stored up. And this doesn't have to be a 0 to 60 approach, meaning you don't have to, furiously pack food away. This can be something that is an incremental achievement. If you don't have any food in the house as yet, extra, store up 2 weeks, and then from 2 weeks get a month, from 1 month get 3 months, etc., etc. So if you take small baby steps approach, you can usually have a greater amount of success and also a great amount of personal satisfaction with that achievement because it's something that you did and you worked towards. So let's look at the second point here, the run on routine medications. And one particular point I'd like to share with you guys that this gentleman noted, he said that the smaller local pharmacies, because their information was not backed up in a database nationally, the records were lost, and so many of these folks were not able to get a hold of their physicians to write them new prescriptions, and because of that they had to see the doctors at this makeshift hospital that this gentleman was part of. I am conflicted on this because I want to obviously support local business, etc. But folks, it is a very, very good idea for your own personal record keeping to have a list of all of your routine maintenance medications and your doctor, etc., etc., even if you wanted to go so far as to photocopy your scripts, so that way you've got proof, hey, this is really what I take, okay? That's just something to consider. But also from a practical standpoint, having your routine medications stored up, and I'll just put this out there, getting off of your routine medications if you can. For instance, not everybody can control blood pressure through lifestyle and diet, but a lot of people can. So if that is you, then I would submit to you that it's a good idea to try and get yourself off of those meds in favor of controlling your physical issues with lifestyle and diet, etc. The third is the lines and the riots for food. In one particular instance that this gentleman was sharing with me, a large firm in New York had contracted a mobile hamburger fries joint, had contracted them to go in and to this particular hard-hit area and provide meals for people, and they were disallowed from doing so by the local authorities because of fear of riots. They were having to exhibit a pretty substantial show of police force, etc., in order to keep the populace calm. So there are multiple points that we can take from this. Number one is that the stomach is a very powerful driver, and people will do very crazy things for food. People will also, let me rephrase this. it's good for us to not have to wade into that. Even if it's just a last minute, oh, I'm going to go to Walmart and stock up or whatever. I don't want to have to be doing that. I want to be able to bug in, particularly in this case, stay home, stay put, stay in a familiar environment where my movement, my visibility to other people is minimized. I need to be able to stay in my space and have my needs met. So again, storing up your food, etc. But also minimizing your contact, if necessary, with an unknown outside world is probably a good idea, not only for your own personal safety, but also to decrease your exposure to disease. Good idea. The fourth is that the emergency room was overwhelmed. In the instance that this gentleman conferred to me, the physician, the ER physician that he interacted with, had stated that their patient load was 3 times normal, and they were working on half staff with their RNs, not to mention LPNs, etc., etc. There are many reasons for this understaffing. Number one, much of the medical staff was affected by the hurricane as well. From the patient load standpoint, people are getting sick, injured, hurt, etc. It's damp outside. The sun's not out. There's refuse floating around, contaminated with human body fluids in many cases, perfect breeding ground for bacteria. So people are getting sick at a greater rate. There's a lot that we can take away from this. This is one of the reasons why I teach my classes, because in the event that you are not able to get out to a hospital, or, check this, the hospital is not where you want to be for many reasons, because it will get you sicker. You are at a risk for being hurt by people who are not in their right mind there, because I want my family seen right now. I don't care, and whoop, there goes the weapon. It happens, folks. That's why we have security at hospitals. There are many points that we can take away from this, not the least of which is that, number one, if we are able to store our medical supplies and be proficient with taking care of our family. That's one, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I teach my classes, because I want people to be able to have the skills, not just the stuff. It's one thing to have stuff and bandages and gauze, etc., but until your brain is opened up and unpacked and you really sit down and examine, holy cow, there's more to this than just slapping on a dressing. I need to know what to look for. I need to know how to intervene if things start going downhill with one of my family members. So for us as preppers, what we need to take away from all of these things is, number one, reinforcement of what we already know, the beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. But two, having a fresh realization that this stuff does happen here. It can get very nasty very quickly. So what we need to do is take and learn from when these instances come up now. Take and learn from them. Mull it around in our heads a little bit and try and freshly apply this to our lives with the new information that we've gleaned. So that's what I have for you guys today. I wanted to, number one, communicate the information that this gentleman had confided in me, but also give us a renewed vision for applying these principles and these precepts into our prepping. Wanted to let you guys know about the upcoming Patriot Nurse classes. The next one will be January 20th, Sunday, January 20th in Philadelphia. It's in the Valley Forge area. So I encourage you to go ahead and make your way on over to the website and sign up. It's a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, random pagan festival, Kwanzaa, use your tax return. Way to gift something to your friends and family. I made that on one of my Facebook updates, and that was pretty well received. The all-inclusive gift for your family member. So Sunday, January 20th in Philadelphia. February 10th, Sellersburg, Indiana. And February 24th is the Fort Lauderdale class. That's going to be oceanfront. So that's going to be a really, really neat class. Yes, get away and come train with Patriot Nurse on the beach. Roughing it. Then March I have the Texas classes. April's Yakima, Washington, and then May is Indianapolis. So that's what I have for you guys today, and I hope it was helpful for you. So for now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see y'all later.